Hello and welcome to Fierce. This program celebrates the diversity of LGBTIQ identities and perspectives. Fierce is produced in Bundjalung country at 2NCR Lismore and can also be heard on podcast at fiercefm.podbean.com and in New Zealand on Fresh FM, as well as all over Australia through the Community Radio Network. This is Peter Lena, and I want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands where you are listening. They took care of these lands sustainably for hundreds of thousands of years and then shared this land with us at great cost to their own lives. I want to honour and thank them for the work they have done and continue to do to care for country and to sit on the earth. I also want to thank the fairies and crones who came before us in history to fight for our human rights, to love fiercely.
Fierce.
Essie Thomas.
Hello from California. Thanks for having me, Peter.
What's it like for queer people in San Fran now? Is it like the history that we've all heard about?
We call it the Bay Area. I'm in Oakland, the birthplace of the Black Panthers. It's got a really incredible queer vibe, a really inclusive neighbourhood, the Castro area. The streets are painted in rainbows.
Are you going out a lot, seeing music?
I spent the first few months here with my mouth wide open, walking around going, what do you mean I can just see most of my favourite artists at any given time of the year? We get a lot of musicians come through here and a lot of really big names because they're local or because they are just doing their own national tour. The prices are very different. So it is very accessible to see big names, and the local industry is incredible here too.
Do you miss home?
Oh, immensely, Peter.
Really?
Especially our beautiful little walk that we have there. Lismore is such a beautiful area and a special slice of paradise there, one that I've not found anywhere else. Our little bubble really supersedes anything that you could find in sense of community. So, yeah, definitely missed a lot of beautiful community connections and community events.
I know that you're married now, so that's pretty
I am
amazing.
married now. I was supposed to be here for 3 weeks. And so it's really been quite a big whirlwind, Peter. I was going to Memphis, Chicago and New Orleans, and I stopped in San Francisco for 4 days and I met this wonderful human. When the time came for my trip to be finished and for me to fly back to Australia, I thought maybe I'll just spend a couple more weeks in San Francisco. So I flew back to San Francisco, a couple of weeks here, and then a couple of weeks turned into a couple more after that, and then we made the decision to go for a marriage green card, get married, and when you know, you know.
It's hard to be homesick when you're in the honeymoon period of the bubble of love.
It is. It's quite a confusing feeling. You miss home and miss everything that you have had. And also the immigration process is quite a restricting process. You're not allowed to work, and I haven't been allowed to play a lot of music in that process. When you are a musician and you're suddenly thrust into this process of trying to find out who you are outside of a musician, and then you miss home in the meantime, and a couple of Christmases go by, and it's I'm definitely looking forward to coming home and having a little pit stop, refill. Yeah, a lot of those, little grassroots gigs, some house concerts have been really special. And, meeting people, other musicians, and being able to share music with other musicians has actually been vital. So, I'm definitely looking forward to a green card in hand, definitely looking forward to gigs aplenty. Let's do it.
2020, it's going to be big.
2020, it is going to be big.
You've got a new album out.
It's a live EP from a set that I did with my 6-piece band at Splendour in the Grass in 2016. It was actually an incredible set, one of the best sets I've played in my life, I think.
Oh, wow.
And pretty lucky to get the recording, so I chose a few songs from that. There's all this debate about whether the CD's dead or not. So I'm not sure whether to put it on CD or have it as a USB stick. For now, we're going with download cards, and I just couldn't give out a card. So I've turned them into hand-burnt Essie Thomas coasters.
Oh, they're amazing, the graphics. Did you do that freehand?
That's a template from a design from my sister.
Oh, wow.
She's
awesome.
An incredible designer, graphic design and logos and such. So keep it in the family. She's done a lot of my work, really. So I can give her all the credit. It's just me trying to trace it with a very hot iron.
So that's the way to go these days, hey? A download code on the back of some sort of artwork.
Yeah, we'll see.
I saw the idea on your Facebook about hot sauce. I thought that was good.
Hot sauce?
You sell a bottle of hot sauce with the download code on it. Put your graphic, but we also need a picture of you because you're mega hot. Picture of you with your sister's logo. Yeah, on hot sauce. Hey? Bring that home. We want them. They're collector's items.
You can really go anywhere with it, couldn't you? Yeah.
Do it. People want to find you, buy your EP, download online. Where can they get you?
You can find me and just about anything about me at my website,essiethomas.com.
What song should we play?
Let's go with Don't You Go.
Oh, that's what we'll be singing to you at the end of the gig when you're heading off to Melbourne.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. It kind of started out as a bit of a fun song. You know, it's a little bit bluesy, it's a little bit rocky. I think it's really about not giving away your power and not bending down on your own beliefs and your own efforts to make somebody else's life better. You know, so it's about being empowered and it's about really knowing your worth.
Can you tell us about how you found your worth?
By believing in what I do and taking it one step at a time. I don't know, how do you catch a slogan on the spot? Essie Thomas, one step at a time. Sorry, Peter.
What's the main lyric of the book?
It's don't you go giving yourself away for someone else's pay.
Love it. Thanks, Essie.
Thanks, Peter.
So don't you go, don't you go, don't you go. So don't you go, don't you go, don't you go, no. So don't you go, don't you go, don't you go, no. So don't you go, don't you go, don't you go, no. Don't you go working yourself away for somebody else's pain. So don't you go working your time away for somebody else's day. Out of everybody else's business now. Go keeping your mind from thinking that this world's not so kind. Oh, go keeping your eyes on the road where they're supposed to go. Go keeping you seeing all the dreams that you've been needing to see.
Hi, this is DJ Big Fur and you're listening to Fierce FM.
I'm here in a house, actually in Marion Conway's house, and everyone knows Marion. But actually now it's Magnus's house. He's moved to Lismore from Melbourne.
Melbourne. Where are you from, actually?
I'm from Skidney.
Skidney.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So welcome to Lismore. You're
Thank
finding
you.
it a bit hot.
It's a bit moist, as I like to say, the humidity. There's a breeze coming through the house. I'm acclimatised. I've lived in Cairns before. So yeah, I'm just happy to be here. You know? I'm home. as I'm calling it.
You've done all the major events, including Tropical Fruits up here, but all over Australia. Have you been overseas?
I've done over the Dutch Christchurch Pride about 5 years ago. It was really exciting for me. It was my first overseas gig. It was only a couple of years after the earthquake that they had. So the feeling for me, you know, obviously to be the headliner, you know, I was an international DJ, but I'm just from Australia, really. Was quite an honour, but the mood was quite sombre after the earthquake. So I got to meet one of the locals. So it wasn't just about the music I played, but I got to see, you know, the city still half in ruins. It was quite sad in, you know, such a beautiful country. But yeah, I've done the whole East Coast pretty much. So I started in Cairns back in 2007, I think, for Tropical Pride Festival, not Tropical Fruits. There we go. I've done a whole circle. So I started up there. I was working for a gym at the time. So my other background in working is sales and management in the fitness industry and also a bit of retail and hospitality. So I was managing a gym up there, and a friend of mine from Melbourne came in and said, oh, there's a guy opened up a little bar down the road. He's looking for DJs. Why don't you go and chat with him? So I did. So I walked down, and it was actually this weekend. So it was an official sort of after Mardi Gras party. We did I think on the Sunday or Saturday night. That was my first gig. So I bought all my decks from Melbourne, got them shipped up. They arrived the night before. Didn't really know how to use them, but anyhow, we got through.
Oh my God, what was it like when people started dancing and enjoying you as a DJ?
It's never worked for me, honestly, Peter. It's a passion, you know. I mean, music's been part of my life. So, you know, I grew up listening to my dad's music. He's got the most amazing vinyl collection. It's still growing. You know, listening to artists like Pink Floyd, the Beatles, Bob Dylan, you know, Creedence. But yeah, to see people dancing, and I say this, like, everyone dances to the same rhythm. And there's two things in the world, I think, that don't discriminate, and that's music and love. So I can see, you know, short people, tall people, white people, black people, Asians, Germans, you know, straights, gays, doesn't matter what their background is or their ethnicity or their political persuasion or who they pray to, but you put music on and everyone dances to the same rhythm, and that to me is amazing, how it brings people together.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's true. You've been on a few dance halls, I'm sure.
Yep.
There you go. So you know what it means, yeah? So you look around like everyone's dancing to the same beat, the same music. I love it.
So my DJ name is Goat.
Goat. And how did that come about? That's not your real name.
I'm a year of the goat. I'm also the Capricorn ascendant. So the goat's a big part of my life, and I've just been in love with Pan since I was a little boy. So anyway, that's how the goat came about. But when I first had people dancing to me, I was only 20 when I started out.
Yeah. So how long ago was that?
Oh, 32 years ago.
So I'm not asking how old you are, AC.
I was working for Moby Disc.
Wow. My goodness. That's the name, yeah.
I know, doing harbour cruises, the Intercontinental Hotel in the Rocks. Putting on the music, sometimes it's stressful, getting the right songs. Yes. But the wonderful thing is you can plan that journey, take people on a journey and get the reward of them. What's that like for you?
That is part of it too, you know, like I don't play a lot of, so over the years I suppose I've created a bit of a brand for myself, a bit of a unique signature sound, mainly uplifting vocal house, but I can play anything from chill and deep house right through to trance, which is my other love. So remixes for me, I find, you know, some can make them and break them. So I generally try and find songs that I like, not, you know, all the new songs as well, but I'm not a commercial DJ, so I leave that to the other DJs, you know, so I try and stand out and have the old school stuff that we all used to dance to in like the 90s and 2000s, but I find some fresh remixes. So, I remember this song, oh, I love this song, I haven't done this for years. So it's about evoking some memories and feelings, you know, we all remember songs from years ago, and for me, I still love what I do, but particularly, you know, the gay scene has changed, music has changed, technology's changed, and that has all impacted on music and how people party and what they do when they go out, you know, and that comes down to drugs, alcohol, and all sorts of things. But I still love the journey of taking them from point A to point B and, you know, throwing in stuff they know, but then also throwing in stuff not just to entertain them, but to educate them, because there's so much music out there. And quite often I'll throw in a song which I like, and I take a risk when I play it, but I know they're going to love it. So, yeah, it's just that journey, and it's different every time. Yeah, I've got some tracks that I always play in every set. You know, they're my signature tracks, I suppose. Yeah, I like to stretch the weekends. I like to do shit. Can I say that? Yeah.
You can say that for sure. So what's it like being in Lismore? I mean, you just landed, but I have. What are you hoping for?
So I've come up and I've DJ'd at Two Fruits, and then last year in August on actually Madonna's birthday, who I'm a huge fan of, my mother passed away on the same day. So that really struck me hard, and I've been blessed to have a close-knit circle of friends around me to help me through that, but I've got through it with music. The reason I'm here, so on New Year's Eve when I got picked up from the airport, I was driving in, I had this overwhelming feeling that I'm home. I don't know why, I'm home. And I was a bit teary and goosebumps and that sort of stuff. And then I chatted with my DJ buddy, Damien Mack, on the same night, and I said, mate, I just feel like I need a slower pace of life, a new direction, maybe get myself into something creative. I don't know, and I didn't know. So I put that out to the universe on the last day of last decade, New Year's Eve, right? Then on New Year's Day, Kelly Freeman, God love her, comes up to me at the pool party, gives me the biggest hug, because she's been absolutely amazing to me as well since my mum passed, like almost like a big sister. and gave me the best hug ever. And I said, I couldn't think of a better place to be on New Year's Day for my first gig of the decade with you guys, my family, here in the pool party. And of course, my DJ partner, Damien Mack. Anyhow, and I said, I want to get involved with the festival more. I don't want to DJ. And so she said, if you can get here by February the 23rd, we've got an AGM. I'm like, right, so what are you trying to say? She goes, well, just get here, basically. So 2 weeks later, I was back in Melbourne, broke my lease, hit the road last week, over 2 days, drove up.
Wow, so that's quite an impulsive decision to come up.
7 weeks, yeah. So I had to go with the flow, go with what I put out and what I created. So why am I here? I've been absolutely honoured and humbled to be elected to be on the Tropical Fruits Committee. I was at the AGM last week. We've got a really amazing team. I say amazing a lot up here. I don't know. It must be like just a normal word for you guys up here. But anyhow.
Amazing.
Amazing. That's right. So yeah, I'm here to be involved with that. I want to, to grow the festival. I want to work with you guys. I want to also finish writing my second single, which is called Wake Up, which is a sort of a call to action song. So after my debut, which I released the year before now, I'm working on that. So I need to do that. I want to do that. I'm 50 this year, so it's a big milestone as well. There's a lot of personal reasons why I'm here, to help me, I suppose, heal with my mum. There's a lot of Mother Nature around, which I embrace. But this is my home for the next few years, so you're stuck with me for a bit. I hope so.
You've got an amazing, boisterous, gorgeous, loving, kind energy, and I imagine your mum gave you that.
Yeah, she did. She the heartbreaking part of the story, which I will talk about, is I talk about mum's death a lot since she's gone, and that's my way of processing it. I suppose there's two things that people generally don't like to talk about, and that's death and sex. Look, death is inevitable. We all pass on from this physical world. I believe there is maybe not a heaven or a God, but light, if you want to call it, or energy. Our soul lives on, and I've seen my mum as a butterfly many times since she's passed. So I suppose I've learnt from a lot of heartache. I mean, my upbringing, no disrespect to my late mother, was very army-like and regimented. So she didn't physically show me a lot of love, but only I found out after she passed, she left me some money, which I had no idea about. So her gift of love to me has been through that. And my auntie even said before I left Melbourne, Magnus, she did love you very much. She just had difficulty showing it because of some of her trauma as a child, which she carried through her whole life, which is painful for me to deal with. But you know what? At least now she's at peace, and I can move on with it. It's almost like, I say this to people, Peter, her death has given me new life with new eyes. I'm the same person, but I cherish every single day, not even more. And I talk about death to a lot of people. I talk about people's mums to them. Have you got your mum? And do the extra thing for her, because when she goes, when you lose your mum, no matter how good or bad the relationship is with her, she is the one woman that bears you life. So she carries you for 9 months, and she is your mum. Like, you only have one biological mum. So when you lose her, it hurts. I've had anxiety and depression issues on and off for years, but grief is something else. But music gets me through, and Lismore's going to get me through, and that's why I'm here as well.
Lismore is more. Yeah. We've talked about death, so let's talk about sex.
Yep. What do you want to know? Can we say this on air? This is a family show. No.
I'm sure all our audience wants to know about you and
no,
sex.
They don't. Well, they probably already know anyhow. Well, they think they know. Look, I don't hold back. Like, sex for me is like air. It's like music. It's food. It's a part of life. I've had 5 loving partners in my life. The last 4 years I've been single. I've done a lot on my own the last 4 years. I still get lonely every now and again, but I keep myself busy. I've learnt to love myself and care for myself in the last 4 years more than I ever have. So look, there's someone out there. I'm sure there is, but look, sex is sex. I enjoy it. I feel like sometimes what did they say? A maturing bottle of red. I don't know. What do you want to say?
Have you found that, and getting older, because you've shared that you're 50 now, so you're finding that your body's not so much about just the hard cock, but it's actually becoming more erotic for your whole body?
I would say that the last probably few months, the level of intensity sometimes I have with, a casual sort of sex with a guy is like, and we both say it's like, I've never experienced that with someone before. So it's almost like not tantric sex, or, maybe not spiritual. I'm not having an out-of-body experience, but like, it's intense. I could say I could make love to someone even though I'm not in love with them. They're not my partner, but I can make love to you, because I am. It's like passionate, love making, and not just, a quick blow and go. Like, I like to have fun with guys, and I like to role play. I like to talk. I like to, get into it. Like, keeps you fit too. You were saying about the body at 50. Like, I say to people, so how do you think I look like this? Like, a lot of cardio in inverted commas. That's my answer.
That's your answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you're the new kid in town, and I've seen lots of people flirting with you on Facebook already.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't. Tell me about who's
You
that.
don't even notice.
No, I don't. No, I've got a lot of people that flirt with me, and I appreciate that I have followers, I have people that look up to me, I suppose, in a mentoring way with not just the music, but I've also paid it forward for many people in my life, you know, as in other DJs, friends I look out for because they're my family. And since Mum's gone, I have actually had quite a few people come to me through Facebook with my journalising it and writing it and processing it on a public page, you know, on a social media platform, which has been helpful for me, but it's also helped other people through their own grief. So, and that's usually what I'm about, you know, it's not about me, it's that gift of giving, you know. So I do that in all aspects of life, yeah, like I'm giving you some insight into me today via the interview on the radio.
That's right. It's lovely to meet you for the first time.
You too.
Thank you so much. You've got your first single out. I've heard it. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's like a skip in the woods. It's sunny and it's hopeful. Yeah. Tell us about this song.
The opportunity firstly came to me by a gentleman called Daniel Burr, who is also a singer-songwriter who works with a boutique studio in Melbourne called Melodic Music. And he came to one of my gigs at Circuit probably nearly close to 2 years ago and approached me and said, oh, would you be interested in working with a studio and a producer? And I'm like, yes, in what capacity? Anyhow, so he took me down to meet Sam Panetta, the studio manager and producer, and he's worked in the biz for 30 years. Amazing gentleman, creatively, we were on the same page the whole way through the actual, you know, the process of putting the song together. And for me, that was a first. So when we sat down in our first meeting, he said, so you've written a song, who would you like to sing it? And I said, well, me. He goes, oh, so you can sing, not just a DJ. I'm like, well, I haven't picked up a microphone for about 30 years, so let's give it a crack. Anyhow, so I gave him a bit of a, you know, a few bars and stuff. He goes, okay, what did you say? You're not a Pavarotti, you're not a Bono. I said, no, I'm not. But he goes, you know, you've got pitch, you've got tone, you can sing, so let's do this. So we did. The song took about 6 months to put together, and for a blank canvas on Logic Pro, which is, you know, the software we're using, which I've never used before. So the process itself of like building the song and adding the tracks and like working with the vocals and then, you know, adding the instrumentation, and there's a couple of samples in there from astronauts talking that I wanted to throw in, which you didn't know why. I said I just like it and I put it in there. It sounds different. It's actually a song which now, since Mum's gone, means more to me for her, and it's also written based on people that have done wrong by me in the last couple of years. Even though I didn't like the experience of what they did to me and going through, like, you know, what certain people did to me, which doesn't matter who they are, but they know who they are. But that negativity and that impact on me, I turned into, you know, something creative and positive and turned into that song. So I thank them for doing that to me, because if they hadn't have, I wouldn't have the experience to write it, you know. So, but then I was also blessed not just to release it, I had 2 official remixes on iTunes, so I've got the 3 versions on there. And then I was blessed to open the Midsumma T-Dance last year, which was the day after my launch of the single. So it was 2 performances in one weekend, and I was in front of 20,000 people. And I had 2 dancers, both of my mates did some choreo with me, and so that was pretty amazing. That's probably one of the best days of my life. And then I've done a couple of performances. I did one in Flamingos in Hobart this year. They went nuts. Seriously, it's like, what?
So this means like you're getting up and singing the song on stage.
Yep. Yeah, the microphone, yeah, singing and a bit of dancing. But yeah, I don't dance, but you know, apparently I sing now, so I'm a singing DJ. Yep.
Are you doing that tonight at the Civic?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not.
Come on.
No.
Please.
Maybe. Look, I try and keep the performances to a big crowd. Like tonight, I'm helping you guys out to grow, you know, Fruity Fridays, because it's been going for a couple of months now. Michael's doing a great job now with the visuals, so I want to come in and I just want to meet some more people down there. You know? I want to get into community, you know, so I'm gonna have some fun. And it's Friday night, yeah. It's Friday, as they call it. Happy Friday, and it's Mardi Gras this weekend. So the segue there for you is that I've produced a mashup for my float, which I marched with last year. And obviously I'm here at the moment this year, so I can't march this year, but I'll be watching my float, the last float in the parade tomorrow. They're called Colours of Our Community, and they're dancing to my mashup, and I cannot wait to see them all. So it's a bit of a head spin, but yeah, so it's a big weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So please introduce your song for us.
My song, it's called Until I, and I'm Magnus.
Till I see your face again. Doesn't matter if and when I feel and sense you in the wind, and I just know you were my friend. Until I choose to say goodbye, I'll always stand here by your side. again. Doesn't matter if and when I feel and sense you in the wind. And I just know you are my friend. Until I
Thank you for listening to Fierce. This program celebrates the diversity of LGBTIQ identities and perspectives. Fierce is produced in Bundjalung Country at 2NCR Lismore and can also be heard on podcast at fiercefm.podbean.com and in New Zealand on Fresh FM, as well as all over Australia through the Community Radio Network.